Hello, and welcome back to Wine Battles. Today is the battle for Champagne, the illustrious region in France that's commonly used all the time. Everybody's heard of it at one point in their life or not. So these are two different champagnes. One is a 2002 vintage, the Nobel Lanson. The other one is the Tsarine Cuvée Orium. It's a non-vintage. So my lovely wife, she's poured these wines for me, so I'll be tasting them blind and trying to determine which one is the vintage versus the non-vintage. The Tsarine Cuvée Orium and the Nobel Lanson's 2002 vintage. Both are BRUTs, denoting the dosage or how much sugar is additionally put into the champagne. So as a BRUT, they should be nice and dry, not too dry. So we're going to start with Champagne A here. Kind of golden in color, good streaming bubbles on that. Not much of a mousse, it's pretty fine. Aromatics wise, there's some good notes of brioche, some white flour, a little like pear, some minerality. Let's take a sip. Very honeyed on the front palate. Not necessarily sweet, but honeyed. Really full-bodied. But there is a nice tension to it. There's a nice acidity to it. Wow. Yeah, that pear is very dominant. White flour is very dominant. There are some like brioche notes, but it doesn't really punch you in the face. It's kind of integrated in with the fruit. That's really fascinating. Usually I'll make prejudgments and try not to do that. It always gets me in trouble. So keep an open mind until I've tried both of them. Wine B. Definitely more of a mousse. Still pretty fine, but definitely, yeah, look at that. Definitely way more prominent of a mousse. A little bit more golden in color. Not much versus wine A, but yeah. Wine A is a light straw color, I'd say. Wine B is straw golden. There's a little bit of funk coming off of B. A little bit more brioche on the nose. Yeah, those are those yeast notes. much stronger acidity on front palate. It kind of comes in really hard and fast. Whereas the other one is kind of integrated and drawn out. This one is very fresh and lively compared to wine A or champagne A. Yeah. You get those strong brioche notes up front with a little bit of green apple and pear coming through on the finish. That kind of like has me leaning wine B towards it being the Tsarine, it being a non-vintage. Has a much fresher feel to it. The mousse is more lively. The color is still really intense, whereas this one has been drawn out a little bit. I know the blend on the Lanson is 70% Chardonnay, 30% Pinot Noir. Yeah, wine A, creamy on front palate, honeyed, kind of things that you expect to find from something where it's dominantly Chardonnay being aged over time. The same way a Burgundy Chardonnay would age over time and develop more of those notes. So, yeah, I'm definitely going with wine A being the Lanson and wine B being the Tsarine. So, let's take a look. Black card is going to be blue bag. Red card is going to be red bag. Let's go grab them. Blue bag. Red bag. All right. Here is the great unveiling. Wine A is the Lanson Nobel Cuvée 2002. And wine B is the Tsarine non-vintage Cuvée Orium. Both of these wines were extremely good. I've been trying to find this guy for a while now. Finally was able to source it. For wine A, for the Lanson, I mean, it is losing a little something just due to its age being 22 years old. But that finish is really nice. That acidity is, since it's come down a little bit, it's really integrated into the wine. So it accentuates it instead of defining it. Excuse me. Because of that, I'm going to rate it at 97. The way that the fruit has matured, the Chardonnay is kind of honeyed out, and everything's so well integrated. Definitely 97 for the Lanson. For the Tsarine, those bright brioche notes on the front palate, I love it. It's fantastic. Good mouthfeel, definitely more brioche dominant, but I enjoy those notes of, you know, when you get the lees, when it's done right, it really is something nice. I'm going to go 96 on the Tsarine. I mean, it's really good. It's just the Lanson is definitely better. I have to rate it higher. but I'm not taking anything away from the Tsarine. I think it's fantastic. 95, 96 points. Terrific buy. Got this one on sale. Knocked off a few bucks. I think usually it is, I want to say $78, $79. And the Lanson, I believe it was 140. So for almost twice the price, the Tsarine I think is going to be the better QPR. But for a nice vintage 22-year-old champagne that's under $300, you really can't go wrong with the Lanson. It was really good. So that comes to the end of our wine battle. The Lanson, the Tsarine. Lanson squeaked it out. Was able to pick it out in a blind tasting. So this has been Wine Battle Champagne Edition. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. And as always, drink happy.